Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Just My Thoughts. I'm your host, Eric Daniel Coughlin. Now, I know we've been away for a while, maybe roughly a couple of weeks, maybe not even quite a couple of weeks, might be 12 days, but I've been extremely busy, man. I've been working, the last 3 Saturdays, and so Sunday's been about the only day I can really chillax and get my head right. And actually, I've been kind of having car trouble, so I've been having to work on vehicles, which is really strange because I've never worked on vehicles my entire life, except for the last couple of weekends I've been having to. So, 35 and still evolving. Hoorah for being a human being. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so this is what we're gonna do today on the Thought Tracker. I thought, we haven't been around. It's been about 12 days since we recorded anything. We probably got fans out there that are like, "What the fuck's going on with Just My Thoughts?" Because usually it's every 3 to 4 days, and boom, we're on there, baby. How you doing? Well, it hasn't been that way, so this is what we're going to do. Remember, I told you guys the next time we play State Your Fandom, we were going to claim my Chicago Blackhawks. Remember, I told you guys that? Well, guess what we're going to do today? Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to claim the Chicago Blackhawks. We are in round 4 of State Your Fandom. Are you ready? Because I am ready. So, to start things off, this is what we always do. We always talk about player position, right? How many people are, we talked about 9 people being in a baseball diamond. We talked about 5 people being in the starting lineup of a basketball team. We talked about 11 players per, side of the ball in football. So let's break that down into hockey. You have 6 people, right? You have your 2 wings, left and right wings, or forwards, however you want to look at them. Then you have your center, right? Right. Then you have your 2 defenders, and you have your goalie. So essentially, you have 3 offensive players and 3 defensive players. But keep in mind that your 2 of your 3 defensive players can also be used as offensive players. That's right. There's no limit to how many people can cross the line. So even your hockey, like there's situations, I want you to understand this, that I really understand hockey. I really like hockey. I really do watch hockey. I don't want you guys to think that I don't watch hockey, because I do. You can pull your goalie and you can have a 6 man come onto the ice. That is an option. Only time you ever see that being done is if it's late in the game and you're only, you're one score down. There's 15 seconds left in the game and you got control of the puck. A lot of times you'll pull your goalie, you'll add a 6th to offense, and then you try to score and go in the overtime. That's usually the only time you see that happen, but that is an option. You can have 6 people on the ice, all being offensive players. That's just how hockey works. Now, is it smart? Hell no. Do I ever want to pull my goalie? Hell no. Not playing NHL live and not watching my Blackhawks either. I don't care if there's 15 seconds left and there's only one scored a goal. I don't care, because what happens if you're playing someone that can steal the damn puck and just rockets a damn shot all the way down there and no one's down there to stop it? Who's to say they're not going to score? Because I've seen shit like that happen. Like I said, I watch hockey, so I am against pulling the goalie. But that being said, so I tell you guys, there's 6 guys that make the ice. I would like to claim 18 guys. 18 guys would be, three rounds of Blackhawks. That's the goal. Am I going to do it? I don't know. Do I have my clicker? No, I do not have my clicker. Black screen. Nothing's on my phone. Well, there's my daughter. So now my daughter's on my phone. So let's get the clicker up. Excuse me 1 second. Still, nothing on my phone. That is 22. I don't know why 22 is on here. This is what we're going to do. We're going to clear it. Hey, bro. I ain't worried about that. Time out 1 second. Apparently, I got a pop-up on my counter. I don't understand that. I've never seen that before. It's never happened on State Your Fandom until today. We're staring at a big fat 0. So, my name is Eric Daniel Coughlin. I claim to be a Chicago Blackhawks fan, and to do so, I will name every Blackhawk I've ever seen play, starting now. How about Brent Seabrook? Boom. How about Duncan Keith? Boom. How about Corey Crawford, who was our goalie for like 13 years? How about Jonathan Toews, who was like our #1 center for like 13 years? How about Patrick Kane? How about Brandon Bolig? How about Patrick Sharp? How about Lafferty? I don't know Lafferty's first name. All I know is he was figure skater, speed, yeah, he's not a figure skater, but I'm just saying he's so fast on the ice, he could do it. He could go to the Olympics and do the little twirly circles and look all cute and pretty. Lafferty would definitely show up for something like that. Actually, I don't even think he's on a team anymore, but it doesn't matter because in State Your Fandom, I state the ones I've seen play, and I know Lafferty has been on my team. How you doing? How about DeBricket, who still might be a Chicago Blackhawk? I'm not sure. Seth Jones. How about Caleb Jones? How about Dylan Strong? How about Brandon Saad? Yeah, Saad was really good. 2013, 14, 15. Connor Murphy, who still might be on the team. Tyler Johnson, Marian Hossa, Andrew Shaw, Marcus Kruger, Anisima. It's really weird because, like, he's foreigner, so I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but I think his name was Anisima. And then I think we have another guy named, or used to have another guy named Gustafa. So, with every name claimed, I've claimed 20. I wanted 18. I surpassed 18. Question is, can I keep on going? Truthfully, I don't know if I could keep on going. I just gave you about the last decade's worth of Blackhawks. In the last 10 years, I gave you 20 players. That's 2 players per year. I would like to say that I could keep on going, but I'm telling you, I don't think that I can. My goal was surpassed. So that happens to be the round 4 of State Your Fandom. Chicago Blackhawks, how you doing? So if you want to know why, so the list is so few, right? You're like 20 players. What the fuck? Here's what the fuck. First of all, almost every guy that I named was on the team for minimum 5 years. A lot of them for a couple of decades, or not a couple of decades, but over a decade. Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, Corey Crawford, those guys were like 11, 13 years in, 11 to 13 years on the team. That being said, Seabrook was on the team for a long time. Patrick Kane was on. I said that already. Excuse me. But Duncan Keith was on the team for a long time. Uh, when you get into hockey, when you get into NHL, you try to do your best to stay in the NHL because here's the reason why: they don't make a whole lot of money. That's true. That is true, true, true. So in the sports world, all your big name guys, in football and NFL, NBA, that's all your big money sports, man. Those guys, they make so much money it'll make you throw up in your mouth. That's how much money they make. But like baseball and hockey is completely right the opposite. The 2 hardest sports to even play. You make crap money, man. Like a big time hockey contract might be, 4 years, 6 million, and that might be like a huge extension to where that won't even get you paid in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? That's like the league minimum. The league minimum's 3 million. 3 million a year is the league minimum in NBA. So if you didn't know that, you know that now. So that's the reason why. That's the what the fuck. The what the fuck is usually all these guys are generally been on the team 5 to 10 years, 13 years, whatever, however long they've been on the team, however long their careers were. Generally, you get a team and you stay on that team. That's just generally how it works, especially if they're really, really good. And if you don't know your history, the Blackhawks are really, 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 really good. In fact, you see that little Chicago Blackhawks championship thing up there? You see all the numbers in the championships? They just about got as many championships as the Bulls. Actually, they probably have the same amount, if not more, championships than the Chicago Bulls. How you doing? So go Blackhawks. And that being said, this has only been a 9-minute segment. There's no way we're stopping now, so we're going to have to put something on the back burner. We haven't even talked about the back burner in a very long time. As a matter of fact, I have only used it maybe twice. This might be the 3rd back burner we have ever come across. And on that back burner, this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the 2023 must-see movies. That's absolutely right. So the movie world, the Hollywood industry is still booming to this day. As a matter of fact, the more and more they make movies, the more and more they're getting better and better and better and better and better. So that being said, I'm going to give you a list of probably 10 movies that you absolutely have to see that were made this year. So number 1 movie, John Wick 4. Number two movie, definitely Renfield. Number three movie, Way of the Water, Avatar 2. Number four movie, I loved D&D. I thought D&D was Honor Amongst Thieves was phenomenal. Number five, I liked the movie Champions with Woody Harrelson. I thought that was a great movie. Movie number six, Knock at the Cabin with Dave Bautista. I thought was a phenomenal movie. Thought Dave Bautista did a really great job. So kudos to that. Number seven, right? We're on seven. Are we on seven? John Wick 4. I should be using the clicker for this. Okay, John Wick 4, D&D, Champions, Knock at the Cabin, Renfield, and Way of the Water. So number seven, we are on number seven. Good job, Eric, for knowing that. Creed 3. Number eight, Cocaine Bear. Number nine, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. How you doing? And number 10, must see movie from 2023 would have to be. Let me. Oh yeah, Mario. Look, first of all, let me explain this. So we were at 20, now we're at 30. So I gave you 20 Blackhawks and I gave you 10 movies, all in the same freaking podcast. What? Who does that? Only Eric Daniel Coughlin. How you doing? Let me tell you something. Mario in itself is worth the watch. Why? Because it's one of the most iconic games of all time. I don't care if you're 5 years old now, obviously now, 2023, you could be five, right? Or you're 55, right? Everybody has played Mario or some form of Mario. There's millions of Mario games out there. I started on, the original Nintendo. I started with the Super Mario Bros. And then Super Mario Bros. 2, and then Super Mario Bros. 3. And then, on the Super Nintendo, I played Mario World with Yoshi. And now I have a Switch. So actually, you can kind of almost see my Switch right there in the background. I'm a grown ass man. I don't care. I'll tell you right now. I still play Mario. The new Mario Odyssey, I own it, have played it. My children have beat it. It's a great game. How you doing? And it's phenomenal in itself because, like, it's modern and it's old school. There's parts of the game where it throws you into like a 2D, you're playing Super Mario, Brothers all over again. And then there's like 3D where it's up to date and you're playing like an adventure game. Just freaking phenomenal. So Mario itself, if you love Nintendo, I love Nintendo. I've owned every Nintendo there is to own. There's only one Nintendo I have not owned, and that's the Wii U. But I have owned an NES, Nintendo Entertainment System. I've owned an SNES, Super Nintendo Entertainment System. I've owned a GameCube, Nintendo GameCube. How you doing? I have owned a Nintendo Wii. I now own the Nintendo Switch. I have had the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Advanced. Um, so I've had more than a handful of Nintendos in my life, and guess what? If they make a new Nintendo, I'm pretty positive in my mind it might take a few years, but I'll probably gonna buy it because it's a Nintendo. I grew up with a Nintendo, not an Xbox, not a PlayStation, a Nintendo. So that being said, it's retro, and I'm retro. How you doing? I like Nintendo. I don't care if you don't care. I don't care. How you doing? So, top 10 movies 2023 must see on that list is Mario Brothers. Duh. Now we're only about we're approaching the 15-minute mark, and we've already talked about two different topics. So we're gonna make a record today on just my thoughts. We're gonna bring in a second agenda on the back burner, which gives us three topics in one episode. We've never done this before, but I've got a whole lot of time and I got absolutely nothing to do. So I'm going to be sitting right here talking to you. Now, who are you? I don't know, but do you know me? Obviously, or you wouldn't be watching the show. How you doing? So this is what we're going to do. We talk about music sometimes. I talked about, 70s rock, and then I've talked about, I've talked a little bit about alternative rock. I've talked a little bit about metal. What I've never talked about is punk rock. So I'm going to give you, in my opinion, all in one episode. You've got sports today. You got Hollywood today, and now you're getting music today. I'm going to give you my top 10 absolute badass punk rock bands. So we're still at 30 here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to clear this out, make it 0. It's at 0. And I'm going to give you the top 10 from in order, best to worst, which none of them are worst. They're all good, but there's definitely some way better than others. Top 10 punk rock bands. Here we go. Number 1 punk rock band in the world, Offspring. Number 2 punk rock band in the world, Blink-182. Number 3 punk rock band in the world, Fall Out Boy. Number 4, Lit. Number 5, punk rock would have to be. Oh, hey, I don't know. Okay, so I almost want to say Third Eye Blind, right? But that's 90s rock. It doesn't really count. Excuse me, one second. If you were wondering what I was doing, I had to slide around and get my ashtray and get rid of my cigarette that I've been smoking for about the last 10 minutes or so, however long it takes to smoke a cigarette. I wasn't counting the minutes. I was just smoking. How you doing? So, I want to say Third Eye Blind, but Third Eye Blind's in its own category of 90s rock, so I really can't count Third Eye Blind, but it's really going to make this list extremely difficult to try to build a punk rock list that excludes 90s bands. So this is going to be challenging. Actually, I barked up a challenge right here live on the show, and I shouldn't have did that because now I don't know if I can do it. So we gave you Offspring, gave you Fall Out Boy, gave you Lit, gave you Blink-182. How about Green Day? If Green Day is not on your list, then you're a freaking idiot. Green Day almost invented punk rock, for crying out loud. How you doing? So Green Day is definitely on the list. Then we're gonna go with hey, how about Sugarcoat? I always thought Sugarcoat was a really good band. Still think Sugarcoat's a really good band. So the list is getting a little bit weird because I'm gonna give you another one. Jimmy Eat World definitely rocks ass. Jimmy Eat World's probably deserved to be number 4, and now I got them listed at 7. So let's just screw where I place them, and let's just get some names out there. How you doing? But yes, Jimmy Eat World is badass. I mean, to me, Pain was awesome. In the Middle was awesome. So and a bunch more. I think they did like Crimson and Clover. They've done several good songs. Jimmy Eat World kicked ass in my day, so they are definitely on this list of punk rock bands that you gotta hear. Yellow Card, they deserve to be on the list. Outside of Yellow Card, and still talking about punk rock, I would have to say that the Ataris deserve to be on the list, and I would have to say that Yellow Card, the Ataris. How about Motion City Soundtrack, and we call it a day? Top 10 punk rock bands. And with that being said, we conclude today's segment of Just My Thoughts. I'd like to thank everyone for stopping by and tuning in. Now, of course, it's time for the jingle. I say that, but it's really just it's simple as this. If you enjoyed the show, you like what you've seen, always feel free to cash at me, Erick Daniel Coughlin, #Coughlin Pride. Have a good day.